everybody, this is a weekly Divine Feminine reading. I usually do these just on Patreon for the membership tier Heart of Gold. But today's a special day. It's the 22nd of July and it is Mary Magdalene Day, but to me it's the Twin Flame Day. So I wanted to, I've chosen today to do the weekly Divine Union reading that I normally do on this channel on YouTube, but it kind of just happened that way, and that feels right to me that it happened today. Today is Twin Flame Day. It's the day that, for me, it's the day that I merge with my twin flame. And then the actual real Twin Flame Day on the calendar is the 11th of November. And then I just picked this card. These cards arrived today as well. They were ordered quite a long time ago from Twin Astrology. And as I said, that it was at 111 on the timer. We're coming into union, and so yes, today what I wanted to do was to do the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine and the Divine Union readings on the same day. So I'm going to link them all below as well, and then offer them all on all of my social media this week. So this is the Divine Feminine reading. We're going to do some light language at the end. This is what we're moving away from. The top line is conscious, the bottom line is more what's at the foundation of it and what's the less conscious aspects. This one here is the antidote that we're bringing in. It's been receiving energy from the love, from the rose quartz that came with the cards, and these are some dried rose petals from my garden. I energize them with light language, and I make things out of them like bath salts and potpourri and face creams and things like that. So yeah, so this is the Intuit Twin Flame Oracle from Twin Astrology. So here we have this is where we've been and where we're moving from. It is at the conscious level, please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing you care opens my heart. So again, similar to the other two readings, it feels like we're coming from a separation, from a no contact, from a lack of communication. This is as it was meant to be, because there's still individually work to do, both for the feminine and the masculine, on themselves before they come fully into union. And at the foundation of that, I've been so grounded all my life, it's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of our connection, yet I can't deny they exist. This really feels like the masculine here. Both of these to me feel like the masculine. And I've just done the masculine reading, literally just finished it and come straight onto this one. So please do watch that in the link, because it basically explains, you know, that he is, and the Divine Union one explains that he is the grounding force, whereas she is bringing in the higher energies and the light of transformation, and he's holding the space for her, and both of them are playing this role that affects, it transforms both of them, and part of that is a pushing apart. But at the unconscious level, it's like there's a lack of trust in the masculine of the spiritual, of the brightness, of the intensity, and he has been suppressing it and denying it and not looking at it, so this is at the base of it, of this, is that he can't actually deny it. He feels it. It's in him. He's just not looking at it consciously. And so he wants contact. And any contact you have, just hearing your voice or sending a message, whether he replies or not, is actually having an effect on him, opening his heart. He receives light codes through that, and it affects him, even if he continues to deny or suppress the connection. So in the present, and I feel this connected to the antidote that we're bringing in, which is, I want to know everything about you, but I hold myself back from asking. I'm afraid I'll get in too deep. So this is what we're going to be working with, is the fear of getting in too deep, the fear of diving in, keeping things on the surface, which is again what this is. It's about focusing on what's going on the ground and ignoring the feelings, ignoring the connection. It's too hard, it brings too much stuff up. But any little bit of connection that you guys have, you're always connected in the other realms anyway, in your sleep, in the 5D, in your meditations, you're able to feel each other, you're always connected. So the little bits of connection that you have, like seeing each other's pictures, or whenever they pop up, or reminders of each other, it reminds you consciously of the connection, and some of that higher love comes into your hearts, and as it does, it brings more stuff up. So it's a cycle. So this is bringing in the antidote to the fear of going in deep, to really connecting. So the conscious level of that is that my inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me in the way I needed them to. I'm reacting from that wound. So it's hard to face, it's hard to go in deep. I wasn't heard, I wasn't seen, they didn't know how to connect with me. And at the foundation of that, I've hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me someday and understand I was reacting from fear. So it's like hurt people go on to hurt other people, right? So the wounds and the separation and the pains that have come about between you is because of these wounds and fears, and then reacting from that place. So reacting from the wounded masculine, the wounded feminine, and that is also how we learn and how we transmute it. So so this goes both ways. We both have masculine and feminine in us, but this is divine feminine reading. So it's like the receptive side, the intuitive side. It's maybe not listening to our intuition either. And I just want to show that this one of these little rose quartz stones that show up is kind of love heart shaped. So I've placed that here on the inner child. I'm going to bring some love to her, and so that in her grown-up state, she's not reacting from that hurt place and from the place of not being met, maybe from having been abandoned or just not responded to correctly in a sensitive way, in an understanding way, not being listened to perhaps. So then when the spiritual is suppressed, either within yourself or within your twin, I mean your mirrors of each other, it also feeds into that wounding of not being seen or heard or listened to or met. And then where we're moving towards is because of you, I'm starting to see what is really important in life. So it's through this process, it's through this transformation that you've been going through this deep, intense connection that also triggers you and brings up your wounds, which then makes you face them and transform them, brings you into the realization of what's really important in your life. And reminds you of your mission, aligns you with your mission. Our mission is to be unconditional love. Clearing our programming is a necessary part of opening our hearts. So it's expanding you, it's transforming you, it's expanding you, it's making you see what's important, it's connecting you with unconditional love, realizing that no matter how someone, whether someone is with you or separate from you, whether they reject you, or even if they don't love you back, let's just say, it doesn't mean you stop loving them. That's not what love is. Love is not about being loved back. Love is about the experience of loving. There is nothing more amazing and expanding than loving. And loving someone unconditionally is incredibly expansive. So I also asked for a message from the masculine, or this message from the masculine kept jumping out at me, so I've included that. It's at number 8. I'm conflicted about whether I have what it takes to be your partner. This also came up with I was guided to bring over the 2 cards from the masculine reading. One was 1111 and one was number 6. So at the top of this, at the most spiritual understanding and wisdom beyond consciousness, we're coming into union. That's our mission, right? Unconditional love, clearing programming to come into union. That's the path that we're on. Consciously, he's conflicted about whether he has what it takes to be your partner. And at the base of that is, you know what, I'm walking home to you, and I'm unconscious of how. I just am doing it. I'm trusting. So despite the conflicted feelings of worthiness that he's working through currently at the moment, according to the previous reading, he's committed. he's following the feeling. He's trusting the feeling, and he's aligned to the mission. It's not fully conscious. He has doubts about his ability. Which is, again, brings us to this antidote card. I want to know everything about you, but I hold myself back from asking. I'm afraid I'll get in too deep. So there's a holding back of communication, wanting to know, probably looking on social media, things like that. But there's a holding back, and this I think is both parties. There's the masculine and the feminine in that card. So this divine feminine reading, we have the divine feminine, all of us. We're clearing the wounding, the wounded feminine, to bring in that unconditional love and the trust of the path and the alignment to the mission. Bringing rose quartz energy in, rose petals, which also have energies of love and rejuvenation and healing. Okay, so we're going to the inner child. I wanted to say that the first 2 cards that came out for the feminine were the 6 and the 4. We've also got another 2 4s. 4s are really stable. And in the masculine reading, we had the Emperor, which is the number 4. And we also had, that was all about stability as well. So there's like that stable, that earthly, that grounded side. She's surrounded by all of that. And so the cards that I brought over from the masculine reading are 4 as well, because 11 adds to 4, which adds to stability, which is, you know, all 4 corners on the ground, all things in place, forming the foundation. And 6 again. 6 again. So, and the 6s were about connecting. Because that 6 was about wanting to connect, wanting communication, and that one's about moving towards the feminine. And this is also a 6. We've got lots of 6s and lots of 4s. Okay, so this is a feeling going deep into the heart now. Into this child's heart, but also this heart here I'm afraid I'll get into deep. This is going deep into the heart where those wounds are. It's going in with this pink, you know, this beautiful, beautiful unconditional love. We're bringing the unconditional love into those wounded parts deep in the heart. I'm seeing like measuring tape. It's like measuring your worth against something, and this is a clearing that need to compare, that need to measure your worth against something external. It's about knowing your worth. This is similar to what came up in the masculine reading. Okay, I felt a releasing of the right hand. Now the right hand is the hand that the masculine was holding this ball of his energy, this ball of where he's going to put his energy and his action to create. And I just felt that release, like, like it's aligned to love, and an opening, an expansion of the crown. And I feel like the third energy as well of the twins, the masculine and feminine, and the third higher energy where you're unified. It's a unified energy. Right now I see you dive in together. I'm seeing you diving in together into the depths of the waters of love. Into like in the masculine reading there's a Ace of Cups where the feminine is standing in a chalice and she's surrounded by water, and I see you both diving into the water. And I'm hearing coming into union. This one. Dancing together is a co-creation. I've got the biggest smile on my face. The energies are so happy. So free, and the heart chakra is so open. So is the soul seat around the thymus area, which is the soul mission, the desire to fulfill your soul's mission. It's like not suppressed, not held back, not holding yourself, not pulling yourself back from where you want to be and what you want to do. Trusting yourself. Ta 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 ta. Trusting your connection to spirit, to your guidance, to your higher selves, and to your third energy, which is the higher selves, as a unity. Ishokotoko tata kata ta titi titi kata to 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 tata sakatoko to to ta to. Okay, that just feels so expansive and so vibrant, just so full of unconditional love. Especially at the front of the body, which is what you're moving forward towards. It feels like a really bright forward movement into unconditional love. And these colours, the pinks, so we've got these pinks, and these pinks here, moving towards the unconditional love. So that's a healing. So what may come up as it's shifting out through your energy field, what might come into consciousness for you is all the things that are not that trust and that knowing of worthiness, and that readiness to jump into the depths, to receive love, to move towards it, to be in it, to make the communications, to make the movements towards each other. Anything where you're afraid or you feel like you're not good enough, or you don't feel like you'll be met, those are all the kind of things that are going to come up. Anywhere where you're suppressing the spiritual or the emotional, for fear of not getting what you want, or for fear of getting what you want and it being too much and it hurting. So listen as many times as you need. Listen to your body. Rest when you need to. If these things come up, send them love, knowing they're just moving through, and drink lots of water. Blessings, everybody.